Hello everyone. Welcome back to yet another episode of Tech This Week. My name is Apalak. So we dive into an interesting topic today, right? And the topic is why do some technology, fizzle out in spite of a huge bubble that they create. Initially, there's this huge hype, and it kind of fizzles out. So why do technology's bold promises often lead to complex realities, right? I think it's an interesting topic. I'll take my two bits out of this. So, and when I say technology, this particular podcast will focus more around tech-enabled companies. So we've seen in the past that they've made promises which are made by these tech-enabled companies, which are very alluring in the beginning, but tend to fade out eventually. So the idea is to unearth what are some of the possible reasons behind that. So I could identify three broadly. There could be several, and it's just my take on this. What we see is the complexity of scaling innovation, right? So any innovative technology begins with a simple promise. It is to make life simpler and more efficient. But the moment you see, initial uptake and things are all fine, but suddenly when you want to scale it, it's like opening a Pandora's box. And suddenly, these tech-enabled organizations unveil a host of unforeseen challenges, right? So as more and more users adopt these technologies or platforms, we see the organizations who are providers of these services. There is strain of resources, need for extensive infrastructure, and the complexities of diverse market demands. So I think scaling up becomes a major challenge, right? I'll give you a small example. Like there was this huge pent-up demand for solar panels. People said that this is where the future lies. They offered sustainable energy, significant cost savings, so on and so forth. But the moment you want to scale this up, because the challenges like high cost of installation, maintenance, upgrades. So we never saw solar panels, as we say, the way at least was projected to take off at least in our country, right? Then is my personal favorite. I think I go with this thought very strongly. Is the costly pursuit of customer acquisition, right? So you've seen with most of these companies are investor funded, right? So companies invest very heavily on customer acquisition. So here it goes, right? So when any of these app providers are launched, right, they give out services at a fraction of the existing cost of what is being offered, right? So there is strategies such as deep discounting and aggressive marketing to attract the large user base quickly, right? That's how it typically operates. Yes, these flashy marketing stunts and deep discounts are there, and you have to understand one thing. I've learned this pretty early on. There are no free breakfasts in this world, right? Somebody is paying for all of this. Usually, such scenarios, the investor money, or maybe inflated prices somewhere else. The customer becomes accustomed to this discounted pricing, making it difficult to adjust to regular prices without affecting loyalty, right? So once all this is taken back, and the customer is faced with the harsh reality of the pricing that is expected to be given, there is resistance from the customer, right? That's second. Third one is a very interesting cycle of disruption and stabilization, right? So most new technologies, or like I said, tech-enabled organizations or platforms, the idea is to disrupt market, right? But eventually what we've seen is once they stabilize, they start replicating the complexities of the systems that they replace, right? So I'll give you a great example out of this. I mean, many ride-sharing applications, they disrupted traditional taxi service market. with the promise of simplicity and lower cost. Let's admit it. Cost was a big reason, and availability, of course, right? But as it grew, the old taxi world's headaches like regulations, operational chaos, cutthroat competition crept in, forcing them to grapple with market reality. So, am I somewhat trying to say that we should not look into technology breakthroughs, or they're always set to fail? Absolutely not. I think it's not about failure, but rather the need for continuous adaptation and evolution. I'll give you examples. Since I spoke about, this, taxis or ride-sharing applications, many of you would have used BlueSmart. So BlueSmart, in my view, is a shining example of adaptation innovation in the ride-sharing market, right? It entered the market which was dominated by two huge players, Uber and Ola, right? But BlueSmart identified that the consumer needs were not getting fulfilled, right? And they kind of worked around that, right? So BlueSmart came out with a business model, akin to a traditional cab service. If you know what I'm saying, BlueSmart, there's a single owner. They are all owned by the company itself. All the cabbies are under the payrolls of BlueSmart, right? And so in a way, it is aping the age-old system of how cab business was run. So BlueSmart owns this fleet. It's like a large car company rather than an aggregator like what Ola and Uber is. It's proving that even if it's a crowded market, there's always room for innovation and difficulty. But the question is, how long will BlueSmart will also be able to sustain this? Because yes, they're also maybe cheaper than your local cab operator. The question is, will they be able to break this bubble and make sure that they are successful in the long run as well, right? So to conclude, tech companies often, try to focus on market disruptions with their innovations, right? Promising radical changes and quick benefits. I mean, that's the code. If you see most of these so-called unicorns, right, they have promised radical changes and quick benefits. But somewhere my takeaway is the tech market, just like any other market, a supplier has to be careful on what they're promising, because they always have to deliver what they've promised, even in the long run, right? Not just in short term, but consistently in the long run as well. Because ultimately, consumers always have a choice. In a competitive market, they can shift their loyalty to providers who not only promise consistency across the long term, but also deliver quality and value. That's it from my end. Have a great week. Bye.